Guys, we're just going to get started with you first. Jaden, for you, I know Audrey had a question about the final drive, Mount St. Joe drive of the game, so we'll let her ask.
Yeah. So with about 3.5 minutes left of the game, y'all stopped the Lions for a crucial 4th down. What was going through your head in this final play, and what did this mean to your team as a unit?
Yeah, honestly, for the last play of that drive, they took me out of the game. Isaac Parrish or Gage, Isaac, and Peter on the D-line, and I like the blitz we called. I knew Peter could run it. I was happy he was in there, and I was just excited that they finished, and we did what we needed to do.
Coach, if we get your opening thoughts on the game and your team's performance today.
Yeah, obviously really excited for our team to be 1-0 here this Saturday afternoon. I want to congratulate Mount St. Joseph. They have a really strong team. Obviously, they've had an outstanding year. We were aware of that. Their guys played extremely hard. I thought they played the game the right way. I think the physicality was absolutely ratcheted up out there on the field today. But super proud of the resilience that our team displayed. I think early on in the game, we were in a 14-0 deficit within about 3 minutes of play. And then over the remaining 57 minutes, we went on a 41-20 run essentially, and that ended up being the difference in the game. And I'm really proud of the resilience that our players put on display in the midst of that. I think it's easy when things aren't going your way for that emotional snowball to start rolling, and you start thinking about things beyond what you can control in the moment and on a play-by-play basis. And I'm proud of the way that our guys just continue to get after it. We talk about competing with relentless effort and doing your job every single snap. These guys certainly did it, and I'm really proud of them for it.
Gio, Coach talked about the physical effort. Not many people on the offensive side of the ball that's as physical as you. As you got through and grinded through for your yards today, how did you feel as the game progressed?
Yeah, I would say as the game progressed, I think, you just lean into our O-line is what it is. We have some really good players up front,
yeah.
And I have a lot of trust for those guys. And honestly, a lot of times you just have to slow down and trust that they're gonna open up the gaps for me to run through. And I think, especially down in the fourth quarter, I was glad we went back to the run game because it was, I think it just overwhelmed them at the end. And I love physicality, and that's what I love about football. So,
Coach, obviously the young man sitting next to you. First off, for Mount St. Joseph, congratulations. You guys played a hell of a football.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Young man sitting next to you carried the ball 38 times in this football game. 263 yards. Would you have envisioned that being the plan to win this game? 38's a ton of rushes in D3 football nowadays. Was that the game plan? You know what I mean? Was it your thoughts to attack the offense that way?
What do you think? Did it feel like that, Benny? Right now, it
probably
does.
right now.
Sure that in the middle of it felt like that.
Well, it felt in the third. I felt we kind of went away from the run, so
yeah,
I was still surprised that it was that many.
Yeah, I think that when you evaluate what Mount St. Joe's was doing defensively in the film that we had watched, the style of play in the HCAC lends itself to people throwing the ball all over the yard on first and second down. So there were a lot of things structurally where we anticipated some lighter boxes and that we were going to be able to probably run the ball 40 times on the day or somewhere around there. The other thing I noticed immediately, we're not accustomed to 88 plays a day. I think that's a pretty standard thing in HCAC play from what I've seen through the course of this year. We're usually hovering around 60, and if we take that ratio, 25 feels like a little bit more of a normal workload for Gio on a given Saturday. Obviously, he's a workhorse, a talented player, and I think that's probably the most touches he's had. Offensively, as a program, we want to do what it takes to win, and we really don't care if we need to run it 60 times a Saturday, and if we need to throw it 60 times a Saturday, if we need to play a particular personnel package defensively every single snap. It doesn't matter. We're about putting our players in positions to be successful and trying to earn victory on a given Saturday, and that's what it took today.
Jaden, for you guys on the particularly defensive line, Coach's comment about the physicality in the whole game. How did you feel about how your team handled that and dealt with that to get through this game?
Yeah, their O-line was really physical up front, and it was just a game of responding the entire time and trying to keep the guy in the pocket. It was certainly a challenge. He's a really talented player. In the end, we made the stops we needed because we were able to come back and keep swinging every time.
Coach, did your game plan flip any defensively after that quick start by our offense?
Yeah, well, I don't know that it can that quickly into the game. So anytime you've got an explosive play like that, you go right to the drawing board about why did it happen, and it's a pretty simple answer on that. Like, your running back made a fantastic move on our safety and made a miss right at the point of attack and ended up running for about 70 yards. I don't know exactly what the number was. It was a fantastic play by him. To throw out the game plan in the midst of that, I think is a pretty rough response. But certainly there were some structural changes that we made through the course of the day. I think one of the big ones was making sure that we were bringing pressure on that last 4th and 6. I thought it was a fantastic call by Coach Nightingale. 4 had made us pay all day when we were rushing 3 and had time, and he was going to find his way out of the pocket and create opportunity. It was great to. It was a great call there in that situation to bring a lot of hats and compress the pocket, and our guys worked together to bring him down in that situation.
Yeah, Gio, with this being your last season and your last run into the playoffs with these guys, what does it mean to you moving into the second round?
I think it's just it's a demonstration of the love we have for each other, and I think the work we put in, because we've been here since the start of COVID, and it's like a whole year we spent together just grinding and getting after it, and there's so much love amongst especially these 5th year guys and just this senior class, and we're just gonna fight to the end. You've seen that this whole season, just every game we'll fight to the end, and you let the game come to you, and whatever happens at the end is what happens.
Thanks.
Yeah, I've got one more thing I just want to say with these guys here. I think that it's awesome that this lends itself to an opportunity to recognize our football program for the accomplishment on the field today. I just want to reiterate how proud I am of the men that are in this locker room as football players and who they are beyond it. I don't know that people are always aware of what the demands are for our players. We challenge their athletic development. We want to help them be the best on the field they can possibly be. They're at a rigorous academics institution that puts a lot of demands in front of them. And what distinguishes Wheaton is the opportunity to do that in an environment that's Christ-centered, and that relationship changes the nature of what occurs in our locker room. So I'm proud of the way these guys carry themselves in the context of that field and their performance on the field, but it's all a reflection of the uniqueness of our program and the way these guys go about all of their business, all of the demands, and try to strive for excellence in each of those areas.